flower ready to bloom. Just need a little sunlight to shine down on you. It's gonna happen, it's a matter of when.
Wild horses live in the desert, and so you're always up against the elements, whether it be, a ton of snow or the opposite, where we don't get any snow, and the next spring there's just no water to be had. Without water, they don't have grass. And you may look, when you look up in the hills here, right now it looks green. In a month, it will be brown. And most of any color that you see is going to be sagebrush. Horses can't live on sagebrush.
All of the data shows that in our city, the risk cluster around 5 neighborhoods in downtown Chattanooga. You're still looking too often at a probable outcome of dropping out, witnessing violence, teenage pregnancy.
Just getting by, you don't have the advantages that other people have. You don't have the resources that other people have. You have to learn between a bad choice and a worse choice.
People just really don't know the story of the wild horse. It's not because they don't care. They really do care. Same with the girl of poverty. They really don't know their story. And I don't think it's because they don't care. They do care. But these children need our attention. These horses need our attention. Both stories together have to be told.
I can relate to the wild horses a lot.
Before my sister took custody of me, I lived in EQUUS with my mom and my little brother.
I know how it feels to go from living free and being you to being caught and taken to a place in which you are confined.
We were poor and went days without food and water sometimes.
Living with fear, because even though you don't know where you are, you still have that instinct telling you you aren't safe.
My mother was abusive, so my brother and I always stayed together, like how wild Mustangs travel together.
And you wonder if you'll ever be able to go back to your home again.
We opened Chattanooga Girls Leadership Academy to 75 young women, 75 disadvantaged young women, 75 women who were failing in the more traditional public school setting. I decided that for orientation, just because the girls were absolutely petrified about going to a new school, brought them to the farm thinking that perhaps my Mustangs, my wild horses, in some way could assuage, calm these girls down so that they would really accept this new school. So once they got to the farm, I introduced them to 5 of my Mustangs, wild horses, horses that had been gathered by the Bureau of Land Management in Nevada mainly, and some from Oregon. The girls screamed when they saw them. "Oh, Miss Sue Ann, they're so big. I'm so afraid. I'm scared. I can't touch them." And they would reach out to try and touch, and then the horse would, lean down or sneeze. They would jump back, literally, and scream. So I had to sit them down and say, "Girls, first of all, don't scream. It's not necessary. You're going to scare the horses."
Girls, when your Mustangs approach the camera, it's different. This is new for them. Just be aware. If their ears go straight up, then be at attention.
After they overcame their initial fear, by the end of the second day of this orientation, the girls were petting the horses. The girls didn't want to leave. They had found a best friend. They identified with the struggles of the wild horse, because we talked a lot about their lives, the lives of these animals out west, and how every day was a new day for them. They didn't know where they were going to find water, where they were going to find food. The girls really identified with that. And that was new for me too. I had no idea that there would be such a bonding as there was. We are hoping to pick up at least 4 horses to take back to Tennessee to not only be part of the after-school program, Mustang Leadership Partners, but also to eventually perform and do all those fancy dressage tricks that I know they can do.
Given half an opportunity, these Mustangs will show you how smart they are, how capable they are, and how strong they are, how loyal they are. It's the same thing with the girls.
It was really fun to go to some of these bigger shows, and people look at you, especially because in the cutting horse world, whatever, you know, they kind of look at you, and and then when I'd go down there and like go down the fence on this horse, they were like, "Oh my gosh, that's a wild horse! Holy cow!" You know,
it's a whole different world of people. And when they see these little Mustangs go, they are absolutely blown away.
Oh yeah.
And now we all have the opportunity to say, this is why we need to save the wild horse. I mean, look what they can do.
Right.
There's approximately 760 horses here at this time on the property. Some are scheduled for events, so available there's probably about 600. On average, we get horses about twice a year. The funding has been cut for us, so nationwide we really only have funding to bring in 3,500 horses a year, but that's divided amongst facilities depending on need. So if there's an emergency gather for a starvation or no water or whatever it might be, a drought, we have to leave room aside for that because there will be an emergency at some point.
Okay, what's our plan?
Well, I think
Let's go look at horses.
let's look at horses. So maybe if we can start with the Pen 25. I have no idea, and they may be older than. I don't want.
No, I think that was a young bunch, a younger bunch.
For trimming or.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's why those were left in there.
I marked off both of those that were in here.
work this system.
I've never actually gotten an internet horse.
The Bureau of Land Management is the U.S. government's largest land management agency. We manage over 245 million acres across the United States. And our principal goal is to conserve and manage the public lands for historic, cultural, and conservation of lands and assure multiple uses on those lands, including everything from wild horses and burros to mining to recreational uses and livestock grazing.
Perception is everything in the horse world, and so these horses, we do the best we can for them. They're wild animals, and they come from a place where they've been searching for food, they've been searching for water. They come here and they find comfort in the fact that they get fed on time every day and they have water supply 24/7. There is the stress factor. They have to adjust to humans being around them, but very quickly they understand where their food comes from, that the tractor's not scary, that people on foot maybe aren't such a big deal because they're not going to hurt anybody. Horses catch on really fast.
Once you adopt it, we'll go round it up was more the attitude versus let us help you make a selection that you think will be right for you.
Yeah, we want to make sure you pick out the one you want.
Yeah, these are all boys. Everybody's got their own thing that they look for. I look for their eye. The eye will tell you exactly who they are. It's just like a person. A horse with a quiet eye is going to end up real quiet, and a horse with a lot of white around its eye is going to be pretty tough. A lot of these horses will either be dominant, or they're very quiet, or they're very mousy. They'll be off in the corner, much like you'd see in a high school classroom. There's no difference.
The whole idea of putting together the wild horse and the urban girl, most people said that is ridiculous. These girls only know pavement.
When I got here and I was introduced to the Mustang Leadership Partners program, I was kind of apprehensive. At first I was like, she's taking them where? She's doing what? around horses and doing this, and I really didn't know actually what they did. I mean, do they ride the horses? Do they just go over there and clean up the stalls? Or what are they actually doing with the horses, and how the girls feeling about it? I was really surprised. And then I also was like, well, what kids are chosen to be a part of this program? You know, how are we choosing and determining the kids that, you know, are going over every Wednesday to work with these, you know, horses and work at her farm? And I was very curious.
Initially, I thought it was a little weird. You know, I was trying to figure out how that was going to work with urban kids and how it was going to mesh, and then and I was saying, oh well, here we go, you know. But always, when you see somebody and you getting to, you know, Sue Ann, you have to wait and see. You don't ever say it's not going to work. You just wait and see. You don't make judgments. But you know, I had my doubts.
Well, we are finally making the last decision on which horses I'm going to adopt, or I'm going to adopt. I'm happy because these horses are going to an incredible program in Tennessee where they'll be loved and nurtured. Plus, they'll be given a very special job. They will be serving as teachers and mentors for the girls at the Chattanooga Girls Leadership Academy. Once the wild horses are gathered by the Bureau of Land Management, then they're given vaccines, they trim their feet, and then they brand them, freeze brand them.
I'm Kevin Sink from Sheridan, Oregon. I'm going to be taking these 3 horses home for Sue Ann and gentling them, getting them halter broke, get them to where we can pick up all 4 feet, lead them in and out of the trailer, lead them around. It's just a calm, gentle horse, so that way when we get them back to Tennessee, they'd be really good for the kids.
Can you tell me what you're doing right now?
Yeah, building trust, getting to where I can touch her while she's in this controlled area is safer for everybody, and without getting her too upset. I'm just slowly trying to move in and trying to get, my favorite spot is right up there between the eyes. And I got to work up the nose and between the eyes. And once I get them there, they're mine, is what I call them.
We've selected 3 that we're going to take, and they've sorted them and brought them into the chute. And then now they're getting ready to load them. They'll load all 3 of them together into the trailer.
He's mouthy, but he sure is a cute little bugger.
Yeah, they are. They're gonna be good ones.
The waiting game is a lot of this. A lot of feeling out of touch. You feel like you put the ring on the finger and immediately went into a long-distance relationship. So it's hard to feel like you're going to be a world away from your new partners.
Kevin has gentled 2 Mustangs that I adopted 4 years ago, and they are some of our most favorite Mustangs. They work with the girls. Lily is one of them, and she was pregnant when we adopted her, and Kevin delivered that news to me, and I was shocked. She's only 2. No. When we picked her up, we had no clue. Of course, now I do. Most 2-year-old mares in the wild will be pregnant.
Yes, they will.
And so it's great to see him and Lisa, his wife, again. It really is, because they're special people and have big hearts.
The challenge is getting them to trust you to where you can pet them and they accept you as one of them, pretty much, is what we try to do. And then from there, you can get in there and brush them and pick up their feet and lead them. But you got to get that trust established first. Without the trust, you got nothing.
Having 4 horses will hopefully enable me to add more girls to the program. Right now we're at 13, which is a large number. Some of our current Mustangs really are not ideal for the girls program. Some of the horses are still kind of spooky. Some of them are not safe for the girls. So I'm hoping with these 4 extra, it just gives me more choices.
Anyone who has ever walked into my life has affected me in some way.
She pulled her horse out and they were right there.
What strikes me about the Mustang Leadership Program is many times girls and the Mustangs, they arrive in survival mode, so to speak. And so Sue Ann, through the program, is able to believe in both the horses and the girls so much that she leads both to unimaginable possibilities.
I just kept thinking, after seeing how the 2 bonded that one day that they were all here, 75 girls here, I thought, you know what? That's not ridiculous. This can work. And seeing the joy on the girls' faces when the horse was so receptive to them actually touching them, to them approaching them, when they realized that that horse would never hurt them. A feeling they didn't get when they got home.
The reason why I actually want to work with them is because I can relate to them. Not all horses make it out there, and I know how it feels is to be like the only person in the world trying to fight against really significant, like big odds. And so I want to connect. I've always had empathy for like animals who like been treating really bad, but I want to see them make it, and I want to see them happy, and I want to work with them because I can relate to them as well.
She's had a really difficult life. The girls have lived with my husband and I for the past 3 years, and she's had a lot of struggles in the last year. She was diagnosed about a year ago with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it was all due to all the trauma that she had as a child living with her parents. They were homeless for 4 days before my husband and I took them in. By her mom's choice. They could have been with us, but she chose so she could have a better place to sleep, for the girls to walk the streets for 4 days. Prior to that, there was a lot of abuse in a lot of different ways. Cassie ended up having to go into the hospital to get extensive treatment for the PTSD. It hasn't been easy. It's been really difficult.
For my future, I already have it kind of all planned out. I want to go to college at UTC for my first 4 years. Then after the 4 years in UTC, I want to go to FSU and get my doctorate's degree for another 4 years. I want my major to be in animation and graphic design, and my 2 minors will be Spanish and Japanese. My big dream is to actually work in Pixar or Disney's animation crew. Like, that would be awesome. I love doing storyboard, and I have a lot of ideas for awesome characters.
Brittany is my little sister. She's been in Mustang leadership for about 5 years now. I feel like it's really helped her a lot in becoming a young woman. When she first got started and she was in the 6th grade, she went through a hard 5th grade year with losing her father.
She got into a really dark place. She just got really sad. She wanted to wear black. She wanted to be
she was angry. She was really angry because her father had been taken away from her, and she just didn't know how to react to it.
Well, when I started this, I kind of just thought, well, horses are really cool because you get to ride them and stuff. But in this program, it really taught me that you can actually learn stuff from horses, and they can really help you, and they're kind of become your babies. So with this experience, I've learned that there's a lot of things that I didn't know about myself that I now know that I want to do in the future. This has kind of helped me realize that I want to help kids, and I want to foster kids, and I want to be like kind of a support system for people who don't have it. And I also want to do that through horses. I want to get my own farm where I can have horses and use that as kind of a support system for kids as well.
Getting started. I think if she doesn't get started with them, just skip one and then start the second.
I've become closer to people and learn how to take more responsibilities.
She's a little bit of she likes to test me because she's the lead mare for her, and so she likes to be the leader. So she's a natural leader. So she's not used to taking orders.
Do you see any of yourself in her?
A little bit. I'm stubborn too.
I don't think that she's trying to turn her Mustangs into a thoroughbred. I think she's trying to prove, as she's proven, that they can do just as much or more as that thoroughbred if given the right training and the right environment. And I don't think she's trying to, on the other hand, turn the girls into attending somewhat of a private school on the hill. She's trying to take these young ladies who come from disadvantaged situations, put them in as much advantage as she can, whether it's the school or whether it's her Mustang leadership program, and then convince them that they can do and reach unimaginable possibilities. And so I've seen the girls from the farm turn into real leaders because they know that not only do they have to be assertive and have control of their lives, they have to have control of those animals to convince them that they're in control.
The horse knows how you're feeling. So this teaches you to control your energy levels and how you're feeling. So if you're like tired and you have a horse who doesn't have a whole lot of energy, that won't go well because then he won't listen to what you want him to do. He'll like reject your commands and it'll just like make you upset, make him upset, and that just doesn't work. It also helps you gain confidence because when I was younger, I used to be very shy and I didn't talk a lot. And so, but now I'm more like, I feel more like a leader.
When Yara first came to me, she was timid. She seemed at times very shy to do certain things, but I knew in some growth that she could use in the future would be very beneficial. And I saw that a whole lot when she started working with the MLP program, especially the night we went to the mentoring kickoff. I have never seen an individual that little take control of a horse that big. She has excelled significantly since I've had her. She is now a 9th grader. She's doing well in all STEM courses, all her core classes, the English and the math and social studies and science. She's just doing very well all around. And the extracurricular activities with these horses and this program has helped her move mountains.
They didn't understand that they were going to have to become teachers, and I think they've become so much more respectful of what it takes to be a teacher. They've become better students because now they understand the role of teachers. They realize, I've got to build a relationship with this horse. I've got to get this horse to trust me. And those are skills for a lifetime. They go so much beyond training a horse. But for Sue Ann to choose this, one of her passions, I just think it couldn't have been better.
We
just picked the horses up at the BLM Burns Corrals in Hines, Oregon, and they were completely wild when we picked them up, and we brought them home a couple days ago, and so we just worked with them a little bit, and the girls get to see them while they're still wild before they get gentled and trained. All right, where'd the number go? I might have to retype it.
Okay, he's ready.
When it's
Whenever.
I'll put you in. Hi, Swan.
Hey, Lisa. How are you?
Good. So we got a surprise. You want me to just turn around?
We want to take a look at the 3 Mustangs that we may possibly adopt, hopefully.
The girls are very anxious to name the one little Mustang that does not have a name yet.
We have Jolene and we have Jay Frank.
The 3rd Mustang, where is he?
There's Jolene.
Jolene is here. She's the redhead.
And there's Jay Frank. He's real close to me.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Now the 3rd one, VC, in a few seconds will tell you the name, but what we did is we voted. The 3 top names were Kennedy, Sovereign, and Lincoln. So VC will tell you which name won.
There he is. That horse's name is Lincoln.
Oh, I love it. That's great.
And all righty, so everybody has a name, which is awesome.
So, what type of energy do you get from Lincoln whenever you work with him?
What kind of
Like the
images?
Yeah.
Energy? Oh, he's nervous.
But he calms down pretty quickly. He's not bouncing off the walls, I would say, like a lot of Mustangs we've had.
Would just be bouncing off the walls if we went in their pen. He doesn't do that. He just moves away from me.
Doesn't really need to socialize with me, he doesn't think, but once I put my hands on him and start scratching him, he calms down pretty good.
You did that quickly, Lisa. That was awesome.
How did he do that? Did he push through it? Don't go through there.
Hey, this is called survival.
When he's going all the way out.
You might need to name him David Blaine.
Okay.
Yeah. I said
I'm gonna say goodbye. I gotta go catch him.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lisa. Nice meeting you. Thank you.
You.
I think horses are humans. No, I think because they be around humans so much they pick up on things that humans do. So I think that way they like for him, for instance, since we have ran through this choreography so many times, he knows what's next, what to do next, and he try to sometimes jump ahead of me and do the choreography faster than what it needs to be. And when going, I guess he's been put on the lead rope so many times that he knows, okay, my nose goes here, so let me help put my nose down. So.
Today's a big day for the girls. They're performing with their horses. We've been working on this for quite some time. The girls have been developing relationships with each of their individual horses, and now we are at our venue where we're going to perform. The girls are going to perform with their horses and just kind of get to live out what they've been working on, and really the showing what they have developed in their relationship with the horses.
It was loud. I mean, there were like people partying.
We should have went out there.
Right.
Steve. Yeah, that's the one.
This is Lily, and she's 6 years old, and the youngest of these 4 horses.
It's a challenge because they see all the people and it's unknown to them. It's a new environment and they're not used to it. And so they have to rely on us to not be nervous. They so they will feel safe and protected.
It may relate to developing a relationship with a horse over time. A lot of that is practice and persistence and a learned resilience when things get tough. One of the young women recently told me that she had taken the ACT 5 times and every time was encouraged to go back again and make her results better, and that she could do it. And so I do think that's part of what is reinforced with the girls is you have to work hard, but you also got to believe you can do it.
Once I got in the program, I was kind of scared because horses are big. And I was like, no, don't really want to mess with those things. But I wanted to be in the program. And once I got into it, I was shy. I really didn't want to do anything because it was hard. So I was like, once things are hard, I'll give up. And that was me. Working with the horses, I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned that I can do anything I put my mind to it. They have helped me come out of my comfort zone because we travel and we do different things in different places. So that's helped me meet new people. I've also learned that I have patience, which I didn't really think I had at first. Because working with them, I mean, they're horses, so sometimes they're like, okay, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. So working with Chief especially, I have learned to have patience and to take things slow.
One of the things that I can tell you about Benicia is a lot of times when you are a freshman in high school, you try to understand yourself. There are behavioral problems at times, there were academic struggles at times, but I realized that she can't do it alone. And knowing that she was part of a program that she could be in charge of, you have to take those things and be able to put them where they're applicable. So when we had issues with our English class, for instance, one of the things we talked about was being able to master and practice your writing skills or master and practice your grammar skills, just like she does with the horses when she has to train them in their routines. The difference between a 9th grader VC and a 12th grader VC is a young woman that's going somewhere. And thankfully, because of our STEM education, the girls understand that your limits are boundless, and that's something that's powerful.
Right now I'm just getting them calmed down a little bit, letting them get used to a touch. As I get closer, you can see he moves on. We're getting better at this. How they show tension would be the body would start tightening up, the head would come up a little bit more, he's looking around. See if I can get it a little bit of there. That's a little bit of tension. That's what we're trying to eliminate, because when that happens, his mind goes. And we want to keep him calm, like this right here, so we can work with the mind, because once that mind starts into the flight mode, you lost him, because he will just go for miles of just running and not knowing what scared him. And he there. Now that's what we're looking for, there. And the lick. Both things we're looking for was he went to run away, but he realized that didn't need to, that I'm not a threat. And then once I got my hand back on him, he started licking. You're looking at a horse that is surviving out in the wild, that is running around there, freezing rain, snow, heat, everything, and they can survive, they can take everything. And they're very smart because they learned how to adapt. These are all things that I love in a horse. The part where I got the trust of the horse is they will turn towards me with their heads and drop their heads a little bit and lean for the touch. There we go. It's hard for me to explain the feeling that I get when I finally get this bond and this connection. It's really hard to explain.
All right, so the older girls are going to show y'all around the barn. The ETA for the wild horses is 10:15.
What's going on? Feel a tour?
Yeah, for the new girls.
Enter it from the other side. We can enter it from if we go around there. But
Yeah, back. Tell Glenn why you want the name. What name did you choose?
Freedom.
And why did you want that?
Because, like, the horses they have their own room to walk, run, and do what they want, and they're not locked away and don't have no freedom.
So what happens now? So why is Freedom a good name?
Because he's at a good place and he can be free. He has a lot of room to have freedom here.
It was 3 days. We stayed overnight, 3 nights in fairgrounds along the way.
Kept taking them out to walk.
Oh yes, and stopped for water, and it was quite a journey. I loved it.
Make a suggestion for a name. What do you think?
Abe. Like Abe.
Freedom.
I love it. I love it.
Freedom, Abe. Glory.
That's a good one. Glory's
I
for
like
a girl.
Glory for a girl?
Yeah.
Well, he's a guy. All for Abe. I think it's Abe.
Of course, the 6th
Okay.
graders get
So
it
why
now.
did y'all say, why are you thinking Abe?
I picked it.
Why?
I don't know. When you started describing him, I thought of the name Abe first. It just came to me. And then when we saw him, it was just like, yep,
That's an Abe.
fits the bill.
I
Yep.
love it. So what were you expecting when these horses got off the trailer?
They're calmer than what I expected.
Yeah,
They're a lot calmer.
I agree. What about Jolene?
Jolene's good too. She doesn't like her face touched though.
Okay, don't touch Jolene's face. Alexis?
It's a little sad time right now. It's like when I brought Amos and them here 4 years ago. You work with them so much and you become part of them. When you leave, we're a little sad. You know, you go like, there's nothing in the trailer. It just, there's an emptiness, but we have more to do when we get home. But we will always be attached to these things in one way or another.
Sweet girl.
You see those people?
I haven't been here since school ended. So it's been like a month since I last saw all of them. And I really miss Breezy because I'm usually with her all the time, every week.
So what you're gonna do is you always mount on the left side.
She believes so much in them, and they know she believes in them. And because of that, they are doing things that they never dreamed or imagined they would be able to do. My goodness, they're riding horses. I don't think many girls growing up in inner city Chattanooga ever even thought that they would be brave enough to pet a horse, let alone ride one in a show and train one and learn how to have relationship with one.
I feel like she might start running or something. Is there anything like else you're afraid of?
Not really, except like her like bucking me off. Yeah. I was kind of nervous mounting the horse because, I mean, I've mounted the horse before, but not while I was walking. So it was kind of nervous. I was nervous because, like whenever it was walking, I felt like it might like bounce too far and knock me off or anything. Like anything like that could happen when you're riding a horse.
I mean, the first time I got up on the horse, I was thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall off. Like, oh my gosh. But then they were standing on the sides of me, making sure that I didn't fall off and correcting me, and making sure that if I was to fall off, that my feet were in the right place, so I wouldn't get hung and the horse would just take off.
I think it's pretty cool that the students are helping me out and all the new students here because, you know, you can kind of get a feel of what they've learned and then kind of teach it in a student's perspective of everything. When I'm done with this program, I really hope that I've accomplished more like self-confidence in me and learning how to react with people and animals who have are not comfortable in the area. So, you know, just kind of like be calm with them and not do anything that might scare or make them feel down or anything.
These are BLM wild horses. And my whole goal, even in showing these horses, because that's not my personality. I really don't like all the white pants, the tall boots, the jacket, the fancy helmet. That's not my personality. That's not me. However, it is promoting the wild horse. It is showing the nation, the world, these horses should never, never be abused or slaughtered. Look what they can do. As well as the girls. You know, they too wear the white pants, the tall boots, and the jacket. The first time they put on that for a show, they looked in the mirror and they said, I look so beautiful.
Many people, when they think of adopting or bringing in a wild horse, there's always this less than quotient. It's not a thoroughbred. It's not a quarter horse. It's not a purebred Arabian. You know, I grew up always feeling like I was less than because I was an inner city kid with you know, bad choices all the time. But these Mustangs, man, they have skills and strength and will that other horses just don't have. They have an intelligence. The Mustang girls are the same. You know, they're the same as me. You face this reality where people look at you and see you as less than. And in no way are you less than.
In a way, I think that's why the wild horse and the disadvantaged girl click. You know, there's an immediate bond there. And they don't even know it. Those of us who watch it happening, you know, just stand there with our mouths open.
Working with the horses have helped my self-confidence because through my middle school years, I was bullied. I always got talked about the bumps on my face or the way that I walk because I'm pigeon-toed, and people always thought that I was better than everyone else. And I've learned from the horses that I am who I am. Like, they don't judge me for the things that I have wrong because everyone has things wrong. Even the horses. We have horses here that are blind, some are deaf, some are overweight. So I feel like you take what you have and you run with it.
I'm my own destiny. I'm gonna be someone someday. I am determined. I won't let anything get in my way. I'm gonna keep on trying until I make it there. I'm not too sure where I'm going, but I'm going there. Anyone who has ever walked into my life has affected me in some way.
So I'm graduating in 2 days, and I will be attending the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, and I'll be majoring in mechanical engineering, and I'm super excited about it.
Since I've been working with the Mustang Leadership Partners, it's really just helped me build my confidence to speak, and it's really helped me academically because now I'm a straight A and B student, and so it's just opened me up a lot and something I really like about it.
So, me knowing that all the horses have been through struggles, you know, with no food, no shelter, being out in the wild, I've known that I can overcome my obstacles if they can, and I'm a human being, like, I can do this if a horse can. And that's how I took it into perspective when I went to MLP. I started to realize these things, and that's how MLP has helped me a lot. And it's like coping with all the stress that I had. It helped out a bunch.